Hey everyone, Warwick's here. So we're back with Christmas month continuing here. Today we're going to be going over Voice Play's Christmas release for this year called the Chipmunk song Christmas Don't Be Late featuring Deejay Young. I don't know anything about Deejay Young, so experiencing him is going to be a new thing. I'm excited for it. I always like the collaborators that Voice Play brings in. They've always brought in some really strong guys. I'm partial to Ashley Diane, but Omar Cardona, EJ Cardona, Rachel Potter, all those folks are all very, very good, very fun, and usually fit in perfectly with the arrangements that they're going for. So really looking forward to getting into this one. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. Thank you very much for joining. For those of you that are veterans of the channel, welcome back. It's good to see you again. For those of you that are new to the channel, just a quick overview on myself. My name is Corey. I am not a professional musician. I'm just a guy that did drumline in high school and loves music. Started doing these acapella reaction videos in June of 2022 as a sort of palate cleanser content to my World of Warcraft stuff, which is still my primary focus on this channel. However, I started doing these videos, been a lot of fun, found some really great people to talk to about them every week when I release. So that's what we're here to do. Just I go through them if it's the first time I've listened to a song, which is what this one's going to be. What we do is we basically go through, watch the whole thing, you get my unfettered reaction, and then we go back in and break it down and talk about all the stuff that I think is pretty cool in the video. So that's just kind of the format for these videos. So if you find yourself enjoying what I do here, like, share, subscribe. In my last reaction video with Jeff's Dreaming of a White Christmas, I did talk about the fact that I'm considering doing non-acapella music reactions on Patreon. So if you're interested in possibly seeing me do different styles of music, I was thinking more like DCI instrumental, like marching band style music to start with. It's probably going to be one of the first concepts that I do. Let me know if it would be something you'd be willing to subscribe to Patreon to. I do have 3 different tiers. I think it's $1, $3, and $5 are my tiers right now. Depending on what kind of growth we see there, I might be able to do more higher tiers, whatever the case may be. Try to do different content on that, but for now, just $1, $3, $5. So patreon.com/works_BAA. It's the link. I'll put it in the description as well. All right. So without further ado, enough self-promotion right now. Like, share, subscribe. Forgot to say that. Anyways, enough self-promotion. Let's get into this video. The Chipmunk song, Christmas Don't Be Late by Voice Play featuring Deejay Young.
Chipmunks, are you ready to sing this song?
You know we are.
Yeah, let's sing it now.
All right, Simon?
All right.
All right, Theodore?
All right.
All right, Alvin? Alvin?
Alvin! Christmas, Christmas time is near. Time for toys and time for cheer. We've been good, but we can last. Hurry, Christmas, hurry fast. Want a plane that loops the loop. Me, I want a hula hoop. We can hardly stand the wait. Please, Christmas, don't be late.
Guys, that was excellent. Simon, great work. Theodore, impressed.
Naturally.
Alvin, stop riffing so much and stick to the music.
Don't be late. Christmas, Christmas time is here. So listen for those 9 reindeer.
It's been tough, but we've been good.
So bring us presents like you should. A brand new bottle of hair gel.
Bright green dress like Tinkerbell.
Oh, we can hardly stand the wait. Please, Christmas, don't be late.
Don't be late.
Don't make us anticipate. Please, Christmas, don't be late.
Christmas, Christmas, please be quick. We just can't wait for old Saint Nick.
We've been kind all through the year. So put your sleigh in. A tweet from us could make me grin.
Front row seats to Hamilton.
We can hardly stand the wait. Please, Christmas, don't be late. Christmas, don't be. Snow is on the ground. Candies and music all around. And so we're asking you straight away to put your sleigh in the sky and fly. We can hardly wait.
We can hardly stand the wait. Please, Christmas, don't be
wonderful.
We can hardly stand the wait. Please, Christmas, don't be late. Don't be late. Don't be late. Don't be late. Christmas, don't be late. Christmas, don't be late.
Great job, chipmunks. Even you, Alvin. Now let's try it with some helium.
Ah, that was fun. So Christmas Don't Be Late is very nostalgic for me because it's one of the first Christmas songs that I remember. I'm 35, so the Chipmunks basically were a part of my life growing up. So I find it funny. Of course, we had Alvin, Simon, Theodore. I wonder what Chipmunk Jeff is. It's a good question. Did they name it on their behind the scenes stuff on Patreon? Let me know if they did. But Christmas Don't Be Late is always kind of like a fun song for me. I've always enjoyed it. The Chipmunks have kind of always been a part of me, like them and to date myself, the old California Raisins. I remember them being a thing. I actually used to have a ceramic figure of the California Raisins. They also did their Christmas songs as well. Santa Claus is coming to town and stuff like that. So those were kind of integral Christmas music listening to me. Like, my parents had like, Bing Crosby and some of the older sort of traditional classics. I had Alvin and the Chipmunks and the California Raisins and Mariah Carey. So this song is kind of like close to home for me in a lot of ways, and it's a fun song. That's really all it is. It's a fun song. I love Caesar as Alvin. It is like perfect. Just a fun song overall. Apologies for my voice if it sounds deeper than normal videos. I woke up like an hour ago and decided to record, so still have morning voice, which means I could maybe hit some of those notes Jeff did. Anyways, I love this video. I'm excited to go back in and deep dive into it and really get into it. So for those of you that are here just for the reaction, this is the end of the video for you. I thank you very much for joining me on this little venture for just the reaction part. Like, share, subscribe, like I said earlier. Appreciate it greatly. But for those of you that want to get in and let's nerd out about this piece, let's get into it. Really like kind of the filter, the sepia style filter they put over the middle here, with Ellie and Caesar leaning in on DJ, just to add a nice little touch to it here at the start. The set itself is gorgeous. I just did Dreaming of a White Christmas by Jeff, and you can see a lot of the props being reused, which, hey, use what you got, smart. But the setup is different enough that it feels really good. I kind of saw a preview of this set through Jeff's Instagram. He posted a quick video where he just showed off the set. I think Ellie was just kind of meandering on it before they were filming, which I find funny. Also, I appreciate that Ellie is doing like leather jacket, ripped jeans, and stuff like that for a Christmas song. That man just has no shame about his style. Love it. Love it, love it. So, just really wanted to kind of point out the set design here at the start. I really like it with sort of the traditional microphone setups as well. Can tell that these are not actually functioning because there's not umpteen billion cords running out from them. So, break your immersion a little bit.
Chipmunks.
What I really appreciate is when Jeff comes in here, he actually does hit the first doo-doo as he overslides the mic and then gets back to it. I don't know if that was intentional on his part, but it looks cool, even though, again, we all know what's really going on. It's just a really cool touch that I really appreciate.
All right, Chipmunks. Are you ready to sing this song?
You know we are.
Yeah, let's sing it now.
All right, Simon.
All right.
All right, Theodore.
All right.
All right, Alvin. Alvin.
I appreciate that they took the traditional scream and made it a harmony there. Really like that. Just something that's, kind of classic from my childhood is just screaming Alvin. You know, usually it's in a much more drawn out way. It's not done in an eighth note sequence, but just like that they took that and they decided to be fun with it, but also make it a nice little cool high harmony at the top there with Ellie and DJ.
Christmas, Christmas time is near. Time for toys and time for cheer. We've been
I appreciate the ding. Again, little visual touches, and Caesar being Alvin is just perfect.
good, but we can last. Hurry, Christmas, hurry fast. One
Oof, that little rundown by Lane. The really like that from the vocal percussion standpoint. Haven't really talked about the vocal percussion in the last couple of voice play videos just because there's so much other stuff going on and things like Hide and Seek and Hall on the Mountain King, which we've covered the last two voice play covers that we've had. But this song, Lane does some really cool stuff that we're going to talk about quite a bit because I am still a percussionist at heart. Really like that he has that high, tight snare that he's doing that sounds... It is a real snare sound, but when you hear it, even in off the actual instrument, it still sounds kind of fake. It's an interesting sound. It's, you know, the snares on the usually on the bottom, the snares are pulled really tight. And you're usually not hitting dead center of it. You're usually hitting just off to the side as a way to make the sound feel a lot tighter on the actual drum itself. So like that he's figured out that effect and just adding it in. I think he does some tight snares and some other ones, but this one, it just really stands out to me as a percussionist because it fits the song perfectly.
on a plane that loops the loop. Me, I wanna hula hoop. We can hardly stand.
Also, it never dawned on me. Let me go back.
Christmas, hurry fast. Want a plane that loops the loop. Me, I wanna hula hoop.
How much taller Jeff is than Ellie. It's never dawned on me until now. Jeff has got to be like 6'1", 6'2", right? Watch, they're all like 5'11", 5'10", and shorter and stuff. Like, they're like my height. I'm 5'6". But I just find that funny because it's rare that I've seen them standing like direct line to each other and stuff that I've covered. Or in cases like Hoist the Colors or like the Moana mix, Jeff is sitting down, so it's like the difference in height is pretty easy to figure out. It's not easy to figure out, rather. So just wanted to point that out. I just thought it was funny.
We can hardly stand the wait. Please, Christmas, don't be late.
Guys, that was excellent. Simon, great work. Theodore, impressed.
Naturally.
Alvin, stop riffing so much and stick to the music.
I want a high-res screenshot of that. Obviously, when I play, it doesn't work. But I appreciate that even when they're not singing, they're still doing the doo 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 type, whatever the actual rhythm was. Like that, again, from the original song, very much part of the whole thing. And Lane being, oh God, I'm blanking on the Chipmunks dad figure's name, but him being that character is perfect.
Don't be late. Christmas, Christmas time is here. So listen for those 9 reindeer. It's been
Really like the sleigh bell sounds that he went for there. Really hard to do sleigh bells in a traditional sense and make them sound like pure, but that's about as close as you can get. Just because of the limitations of the human mouth, the fact that we're not clinging metal on metal, essentially, makes it hard to truly signify, like, do true sleigh bell sounds as you would hear it on an actual set of sleigh bells. But the fact that Lane got there really close to it and kind of looked up across the sky as he did it was just a nice little showman's touch. But he got really close to that sound, and I really appreciate that. So just enjoy that.
tough, but we've been good. So bring us presents like you should. A brand new bottle of hair gel.
Bright green dress like Tinkerbell.
I'm sure this has been screen capped like a million times already. Here's your chance now if you haven't. Okay, good. We're going to move on. Obviously, we knew Jeff was going to get some lines. I didn't think he was going to get like a full verse to himself in this song because not really the place for it. But the fact that he gets his couple little lines here and does something just very Jeff Disney Princess Jeff, as we've joked about in like Bruno and stuff like that. So really appreciate it. Love that he's willing to do this again. I love showmanship. As someone that kind of considers myself a little bit of a show off and showman itself, I really like when people are willing to just make themselves look silly for the sake of everyone else's entertainment. It's just fantastic, and it's not something that everyone is willing to do.
Help.
We can hardly stand the wait. Please, Christmas, don't be late.
Don't be late.
Whoa. Baseline. I'm gonna go back here.
Hardly stand the wait. Please, Christmas, don't be late.
When they started the Please Christmas, I want to know what that low note was because it sounded pretty. It's very clean sounding, but it had like that deep, like dig into your brain style sound to it, which is really nice that you get out of the like cyberpunk style of music or deep house music tries to do. So if we know the notes on that, I'll check the comments, see if someone like RTS listed out all of Jeff's low notes. We'll see. We'll check the credits too. Don't worry, those of you that like when I show the credits, I like looking at them because I just appreciate the work that goes into this. We'll be checking them here.
Don't be late.
Really like that. Don't be late. That little slide up, down, almost immediately. Love when Jeff does that. He can sometimes overdo them in his individual covers, but when they fit, he does them really well, and they fit perfectly a lot of the times inside these voice play covers. I'm guessing Lane probably arranged this. That's my guess, just listening to it. A lot of things that I know Lane has arranged in the past, it has some of the same markers, so to speak. So my guess is it's a Lane arrangement. We'll check in the credits here in a little bit.
Anticipate, please, Christmas, don't be late.
Christmas, please be quick. We just can't wait for.
Love the TikTok clicking sounds being done by Caesar there. As DJ and Ellie go with the background harmonies. I'm sure Lane's probably doing it too. And of course we get Jeff on the lead line, which is as you would expect from the king of bass.
World say Nick.
That really like that little touch.
Kind all through the year, so put your sleigh in.
So put your sleigh in.
A tweet from us could
Really like that it's like pseudo call and response. Let me go back and listen to it one more time.
so put your sleigh in.
So put your sleigh in.
Put your sleigh in. So put your sleigh in it. Like a weird version of both call and response and actually finishing out the musical phrase, because like the original line by I think that was Ellie and DJ doing it kind of just went unresolved, and then they did this like little 16 notes. So put your sleigh in it, da, 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 or eighth notes, I guess, with the speed of this song that actually resolved out the phrase. I like that little piece of arranging. It's enough to kind of like oh, put your sleigh in. What? And then they come back and finish it with do 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 do. It's like there we go. Really like that little bit piece of arranging. That's smart to me. Just enough again to keep contrast going. There's a lot of really cool things musically going on here. I'm sure there's a lot of music theory that the theory folks are going to be able to do, or composition folks will be able to point out. I'm not nuts and bolts on music theory, music composition, but I do like the fact that they stuck that little piece in overall.
Each from us could make me grin.
I'm gonna pause it right here because again, that's just a great Caesar capture. Go ahead and take it if you want it. Through Gritted Teeth still sounds very clean. That's the best part about it. I would say it's not easy to do because you could talk through your teeth like this all the time, and it's just like But to sing through there, I don't know if I could do it. So the fact that he did it is kind of neat. Plus, I love that jacket that he's wearing. I probably couldn't pull it off because, look at me. I'm wearing a Warcraft hoodie, hockey team hat. I'm sure if I cleaned up and stuff, I maybe could pull it off, but I don't know, man. But I still like the jacket.
Front row seats to Hamilton.
I like that a lot. Of course, Deejay Young, part of the Hamilton cast, which is why this reference was so funny to me. Like that they took that and modernized it essentially. But just got some fun little interaction there. This made me chuckle, borderline laugh. I love this little part just for the. It's like if you know, you know type thing. Like for those that don't know who DJ Young is, they're gonna be like, what? But for those that do know DJ Young, my stepdaughter is a huge Hamilton fan, so her and my wife, my ex-wife rather, went to see Hamilton in New Orleans not too long ago. So I've been inundated with Hamilton stuff. I still have not watched it. I know it's on Disney Plus, but I just I probably need just a day off where I do nothing but potato on the couch and watch TV all day because I have like 12 shows that I need to catch up on, and Hamilton's one of the things that I need to watch.
We can hardly stand the wait, please, Christmas, don't be
Really like that kind of pounding drive, that do 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 do, and of course between Lane and Jeff, it adds that depth to it on the bottom end, while they're doing the lead lines that are basically all these staccato style quarter notes, or yeah, quarter notes. So I really appreciate the fact that we get that, but I really like the combination of the drums and bass here, just really adding a level of drive and depth to it. And again, Jeff hit some notes that sound like really earwormy into your brain, which I really like. He's doing a really good job of hitting that almost deep, like deep house style bass, borderline dubsteppy, with how it just wiggles into your ear. It's kind of ridiculous in a what essentially amounts to a traditional pop song. Like the staggered entrance on Late.
Christmas, don't be snow is on the ground, candies and music all around, and so we're asking you straight away to put your sleigh in the sky and fly.
Okay, that section I wanted to just listen to in full again because, my God, Jeff Castellucci. I love the runs up and down that he was doing there. Obviously, the three leads are going to be the thing that most people focus on, but I really love the runs Jeff does. Really adds some nice underlying foundation for the other three to bounce off of, essentially. In this section, I kind of see Jeff as the trampoline for the other three to bounce off of, and then basically find their fun, so to speak. That's kind of how I am going to. I forgot the word, but whatever. But really love what Jeff is doing here. So let's go back and let's listen to it one more time. Pay special attention to the king, Jeff Castellucci, and kind of the runs that he's doing here in the background.
Christmas, don't be snow is on the ground, candies and music all around, and so we're asking you straight away to put your sleigh in the sky and fly.
And you would expect him to drop right there at the end, do the classic Jeff tease where he teases you a little bit and then drops to the basement. But here he doesn't. He jumps at least one, maybe two octaves to kind of build up and get into the harmony, because I think a low bass note right here would have been really out of place. So the fact that he jumps up in the arrangement to that note is really cool. I just love the vibe that section gives off. It's probably my favorite section of the whole piece. And I think Jeff's bass and Lane's vocal percussion does it here, because Lane does a really cool fill at the end here. It's very simple, very basic, but it feels really good in that section, which I really like. Drums isn't always, and vocal percussion itself is not always about being the most complex, doing the most dynamic things. A lot of it is just about consistency. Vocal percussion and percussion in general is, in band in particular, in marching band in particular, I know at my level, and I think this was even true at some of the higher DCI levels, when all else fails, you listen to the percussion or the drum line and you bounce off of their rhythm. So one of the things that I think gets underlooked by people looking at vocal percussion is the fact that, like, yes, they do like these wild and crazy things, but there's a level of consistency that has to be done. And sometimes simple is better. And in this case, that simple one, that do, 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 Very simple, just eighth note fill, but it fit perfectly, and it was the perfect transition into this section where they're leaning back into each other.
Can hardly wait.
We can hardly stand the wait. Please, Christmas, don't be.
Please say you won't be. Wrap my presents, cause I've been so great. Please, Christmas, don't be.
I've been so wonderful.
And then, you know, going back to the vocal percussion here, as you could see, he did that simple fill, and then in this section, he gets these type situations that he's doing where he is adding now these more complex fills in between these little lines, and he gets to kind of show off the complexity that he's developed inside of his vocal percussion, but still manages to maintain that very consistent tempo type thing, because he really is driving this piece in a lot of ways.
Hardly stand the wait. Please, Christmas, don't be. Don't be late.
And that one there, that rising, except he did it in drum sound rather than, you know, speaking. Really like that fill. That's hard to do from the little bit of beatboxing that I know. That's not easy. Definitely takes practice to be able to do it on a consistent rate and make it sound really good at the same time. So definitely he put some work into that, I imagine. And that fill at the end right there, as we get into this kind of last note, again, just pointing out the vocal percussion, I think is very, very smart work by Lane, who I think arranged this piece. Again, we'll check the credits in just a minute. But you can tell he really understands his own limitations, but also knows how to feature himself without it being overpowering in a way, which I really like. Vocal percussion, it's hard to, without cutting everything out, it's sometimes very tough to kind of show off your vocal percussionists. You know, Home Free does a good job of this too with Adam. But voice play in Lane in particular does a great job with it. Like Running Up That Hill, if you went back and saw that video, I react to probably 2 or 3 different Lane things where he's able to just kind of show off his, like, his skill as a vocal percussionist. And he's kind of doing that here, where he's doing both the simple things and adding in that complexity that shows off his skill in ways that are very natural sounding to the song, which is sometimes kind of hard to do if you're an arranger, especially if you want to do something that gives you a moment to shine. Like that's the one thing voice play does, is they do a good job of giving everyone a moment to shine. Vocal percussion, it's harder to do that without it being cringe almost, and Lane has effectively done a very, very good job of it. I need to know that high note that DJ did there. It was very good, very clean, sounded very much still in his chest, which tells me he's got an insane high range. Okay, hang on. I missed the, watch Caesar here.
Christmas, don't be late. Christmas, don't be late.
Great.
And then that Jeff, I'm guessing the bass C2 at the end there might have even been lower than that. If you know the note, tell me, or we'll check here in just a sec. So yeah, just a really, really cool piece. And then of course the humor at the end with the helium, because the Chipmunks were very much, you know, there's a reason we sucked in helium balloons as a kid. Let's see. No RTS in the beginning, which I expect on these pieces. All right, let's look here. Can you see it? Yes, you can. All right, arrangement was Jeff and Chris Diaz. I was wrong, so good job, Jeff, on this. Additional music and lyrics by Jeff. Video was also done by Jeff. Lane did the post effects, which is, I know that he's done before. Director was Tony Joaquim and Jeff. Lighting did by Ellie, of course. He does the lighting for them all the time. Audio mixed by Ed Boyer, who does all the mixing, it seems like. Of course, Kathy is always the PM. Steadicam operators, Daniel Barch, Andrew Cox, and then production assistant Paul Kaleka. So thank you guys. Of course, Patty Cake Productions, Ellie there. And then you have Elliot tenor, CJ De La Rosa is the tenor baritone, Jeff the bass, Lane Stein is the baritone and vocal percussionist, featuring, let me go up a little bit, there we go, featuring Deejay Young, who is just listed as incredible, which is just nice. Sorry, I was just reading there about, which is fair. So shout outs to all these folks. I appreciate all the post extra work that you did to make this as fun as humanly possible for yourself. So thank you very much, Voice Play, for putting this out. I love this one. Like I said, this song is very special to me in a lot of ways. So again, Voice Play, make me go over 30 minutes. So I'm just going to go ahead and end the video here, guys. Now, if you enjoy what I do, like, share, subscribe. If you want to see me do stuff on Patreon, put it in the comments. If you want to see me do more stuff on Patreon, I'm thinking about doing some drumline music, putting up a video on my Patreon about that. So if you're interested in either seeing that or want to see stuff like that, let me know in the comments or subscribe to my Patreon, link in the description below. Until the next video, I hope you're all staying safe. I hope you're enjoying yourself. You have a happy holidays, and I will see you all next time.